Before I get into the actual topic of this video, I just wanted to point out that this is a redraw of an older work that I did. I don't know exactly how many years ago it was. I want to say possibly 3 years ago that I did this one. The original was called Circle Circle Dot Dot, and when I did it, I was using very cheap watercolors, as you can probably tell. And this was when I was kind of like experimenting more with colors and stuff and face shapes and I guess and whatnot, because my work before this doesn't look very much like this. It looks more like my work does now. But at this point in time, I started to just go a little bit crazy. I think I stopped using references. I was like doing whatever I wanted, just like exploring what the things that I like, which wasn't a bad thing. It's just that a lot of the pieces, while I like the subject matter of them and I like the composition and what they look like, I don't so much like the execution. And so now that I've like settled into a style that I really like, I'm going back and just kind of redoing a couple of the older ones. I've done that in the past, and every time I look back at my old Instagram posts, I'm like, dang, I should really redo a bunch of these. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing. Not all the time, but like at least once a week I'll probably be redoing one of my older pieces, because I enjoy redoing it and I enjoy looking at what they look like with what my current style is. So that's fun for me. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I started anything. Yes, this is an older piece. You can see what the older piece looked like, and now we're gonna get into the topic. So the whole reason I actually wanted to get into this topic for myself is because after the whole Inktober debacle, my likes have dropped dramatically. And I'm not saying that I wasn't expecting it, or not exactly expecting it, but I knew that it was a possibility going into Inktober, just because of what I decided to do with my whole Inktober challenging myself and drawing full bodies thing. I knew that it was a possibility that I was going to drop dramatically in likes, because most people that follow me did not follow me to look at cute little drawings of pumpkin-headed girls and goatee girls. You know, they followed me because they wanted to see drawings of black-eyed ladies and star-haired ladies and like demon little babies and aliens and stuff like that. And so for me to like drastically change my subject matter, I knew it was a possibility that I was just gonna like plummet in likes. So it wasn't like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It was like, well, I knew it was a possibility. I hoped it wasn't, but it happened, and now I have to deal with this. Also, sorry for bringing up Inktober again. I know you guys are super tired of hearing about it, because I just keep on saying it just to keep this train going. I promise this is the last time I'm going to talk about Inktober up until September of next year. Okay, that is a promise. But like I was saying, I did notice a big drop during Inktober, and not only Inktober, but even before that, I had also noticed a little bit of a drop, and I'm not entirely sure why that happened. It could be possible that it's my fault and I'm not just putting in the work that I should be putting in, but yes, I did notice a drop, and so it's an even bigger drop now, and so I wanted to just talk about it, I guess. Not really vent about it or rant about it, but just like talk about the two sides of, is it important or is it not important? And honestly, it's both answers. Yes, it's important, but it's also not important. And I'm going to explain both of those obviously a little bit more. So for the obvious answer of yes, it's obviously important that you need more likes on your art Instagram, I'm going to explain why I think it's important for me personally. This is all for myself. Obviously, everyone else is going to have different answers on why it's important to them, but I feel like most art Instagrammers ideas line up at least a little bit on why it will be important that you get your likes up there. So for why it's important, it is because you want to, well, I want to grow my own Instagram, and I want to grow it because I want to be able to freelance, I suppose. You know, not so much commissions. Yes, I want that to be a part of it, even though it's not something that I'm like really interested in, but it's something I would do if I had to. So I want to be able to do commissions. I want to be able to sell art prints. I want to be able to sell my art on merch. I want to be able to just produce my artwork and tell it to people that enjoy the things that I'm producing, and I want them to be able to look at my stuff and be like, wow, I would really like to have something with that on it, and I want to own something with that on it, whether it's like a magnet or like a phone case, a book bag, a print, like whatever it is. I want people to look at the stuff that I produce and be like, wow, I really want that on my wall, or I really want to carry that around with me. And the only way that is going to happen is if they are seeing the work that I am producing. And so if they're not seeing the work that I'm producing, they're never going to be able to know if they want this or not. And that's not what I'm trying to do. But the only way they're going to be able to see this is if I'm somehow boosted in Instagram's algorithm. And the only way I'm going to be able to be boosted is if people are interacting with my work. So yes, likes are important because I need people to interact with the work that I'm producing in order to get other people to see it, in order to get them to see it, because it's possible that the people that are already interacting with your work are just waiting for the right moment to like buy your stuff. So yes, it's important for the people that already are following you, and also the more like you, because you don't show up for all your people all the time, obviously, all the people in your that are following you on Instagram. So you need the people that do see you to like the work that you're producing, so you show up for those people that are following you that they don't see you all the time. But then you also need it because for whatever hashtags you use, you need it to show up in those too. And it's not going to really show up as much if you're not being interacted with, like if your profile is not being interacted with. And so if you get more likes, it's more likely that people are going to share you in their stories. It's more likely that people are going to tag someone. It's more likely that they're going to like send your picture to someone else, and then that person will follow it back to your page and they'll like it. Maybe they'll follow you, and then maybe they'll buy your work. So yes, it is important that people like your work, because if they're interacting, then there's a chance that they're going to be buying. So that is important if that is what your end goal is. If your end goal is to be able to be a freelance artist or whatever you want to call it, you just want to be free and be able to do your own thing, then obviously it is important if people are interacting with you. So yes, those likes are very crucial. And for someone, if someone's saying, oh no, who cares, just Instagram doesn't matter. No, it does matter, because this is eventually supposed to be your livelihood. And so you need these in order to live. It sounds a little crazy, but if this is going to be your livelihood, then yes, you need people to be interacting with you. If that is how you're going to make your money, it is very important. And so for myself, when I see the plummet in likes, there's a part of me that's like, oh, this is so annoying how people are supposed to see my work if it's not showing up for them. This is not what I want. You know, I want them to be able to see it. I want it to show up for them, and I want to be able to sell my work. So it's a little frustrating when I see that. I knew it was going to happen. Well, I knew it was a possibility it was going to happen, but it's still frustrating because it's like, I just want the people that are in my little niche market to see it, to want it, and to buy it. Now, onto the flip side of this, of why likes are not important, is because if it starts to affect the way that you think about your artwork, yeah, it's not important anymore. And I'm not in that place now. Like, even now, it's frustrating for me because I want to be able to sell my work, which is why I'm upset. It's not frustrating to me in the way where I'm like, oh no, people don't like my artwork, it must be ugly, oh gosh, what did I do wrong? People don't like it because I don't know how to draw, like stuff like that, you know. There are plenty of people who are in that space, and I think I mean, I used to be, like a long time ago, I'd be like, oh no, I didn't get enough likes, I mean, people don't like my work, what's wrong with it, you know, stuff like that. I have now moved past that because I pretty much like everything that I produce now, and if people don't like it, like, oh well. And if I don't like it, I archive it. Like, even stuff that, I mean, because during October there were some things that got higher likes than others. I don't know why, because I thought it was ugly. And so some of those things I archived, even if they had like way more likes than the others, because what's more important is how I feel about my art. And so if I ever got to the point where I felt like whether someone liked it or not was affecting whether I liked it or not, then that's when I would need to like take a step back, take a break, baby, or something like that, like take a breather, because it's not a place that I want to be in. That's not a place that anybody should be in, where if you feel like you're not getting likes, then your work is not worthy. You know, the worth of your work should not be dependent on whether other people like it or not. I know that's a weird thing to say with art, because it kind of is dependent on whether other people like it or not, but for me personally, like, I'm creating this for myself, and hopefully other people resonate with it, and hopefully other people like it, and they'll see it and they'll be like, wow, I really enjoy this look, I really enjoy this style, and I feel this, you know, like I feel what she's putting out. But for some people, I know that it's not that simple to just be able to like not get a whole bunch of likes and still feel confident in their work. I know there was one person that had DM'd me, and she didn't want to start her art Instagram because she said the first time she started it, she wasn't really getting the interaction that she wanted, and so she ended up deleting it. And I'm like, yeah, it takes a long, well, first of all, it takes a long time to build art accounts, because art is subjective, and not everyone is going to like your style, and not everyone is going to like the stuff that you produce. So you need to find your little group of people that like the way you draw. You need to find a group of people that like the stuff that you produce, like the style that you draw in. So that's already a hard thing. But then it's also hard because it is so flooded and so saturated with so many artists. So you need to like literally find them. So you have to like put in the work to find them. And for people who are just starting out, I can understand how that's like annoying for you to like finally get the confidence to post something on there, and then you get like 2 likes, and you're like, are you kidding me right now? I put so much work into this and 2 people liked it. So I get it, but it still shouldn't affect the way that you feel about your artwork. And I think that in the beginning, when I was first doing my stuff, I might have felt like that, but I just kept doing it, kept pushing through, took breaks, took my time off. But I'm definitely at the point now where I'm like, I like what I do, and I just need to find the people that also like what I do. But if people don't like what I do, that's not really going to affect the way that I feel about the work that I'm producing, because I still like it, whether people do or don't. And so for me personally, I feel like I'm in a good spot to be able to want to grow the account, because I'm in a spot where if it grows, that's great, that's awesome, this is exactly what I wanted. But if I stay stagnant for a little while, if I plummet a little bit, it's not gonna be like the end of the world for me, and I'm not gonna feel down and not want to produce anything, because I'm gonna produce stuff whether people like it or not. It's a little obnoxious, but I'm gonna do it. And so I don't want to get preachy and annoying on this. So that's mostly all I'm going to say on that for now. That's all I have to say. Basically, but for anyone who's feeling like the amount of likes they're getting is affecting whether they like their work or not, maybe you need to take a break from social media or something. Just take a quick breather, which is what I would do. I would just take a hiatus is what I would do. I would just take a month or so, maybe even a week, and just regroup and look at my stuff and look at it for myself and not for anyone else, and decide if this is what I want to produce or not. But anyway, back to the drawing that I'm doing right now, because that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to get annoying, but back to what I'm doing right now. Like I said, this was a redraw. This was a redraw of my drawing circle, circle, dot, dot. Now I got my cootie shots. That is the longest name in the history of long names of drawings, but that's the full name of it. And I just cut it down to circle, circle, dot, dot for short. But yeah, this is the redraw of it. And I tried to keep everything pretty much the same. I wanted her face shape to be the same, so I kept her jaw pretty wide, because in the original, she has a really strong jaw. I kept her full lips. I kept her wide nose. I wanted everything to be the same. I even put the stickers in the same exact spots. I kept the stickers the same colors. The only thing that changed is I didn't put the correct amount of barrettes or bows in her hair, so the colors don't match up exactly side to side, but I tried to get it as closely to the original as I could, while also incorporating the new style that I do, and I'm really excited about it because I think it looks great. I love it. I like the new one so much. I know there's going to be people that like the old one better, because there always is people that like the old one better, but for me personally, the new one is great. I'm talking kind of fast. Sorry. I always talk kind of fast. I try to slow it down when I'm doing voiceovers, but it doesn't always work all the time. Sorry, I'm a fast talker. But that's basically all I have to say about this drawing anyways. Which one do you guys think looks better, the new one or the old one? Did I nail the new one? Did I do it great? Because for me personally, I think I nailed it. I love this new one. I think it looks great. I know I'm tooting my own horn, but I love it. It looks great. I'm going to be redoing some more things in the near future, but I think the next thing I'm going to do, which someone requested, is a full-on tutorial on how to edit my drawings, because I know when I first started out editing, I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I wish someone had just shown me a very simple, free, easy way to edit, and everything that I use is free and everything that I use is simple, and I'm not the greatest editor anyways, so I don't get too in depth with it because I don't really know what I'm doing half the time, so everything I do is really easy. So I think that's what I'm going to do next, is just do a very in-depth editing tutorial. I do it from start to finish if you guys want that. Okay, that's all I have to say now. Bye.